Here are 5 business mistakes guaranteed to bankrupt your health coaching business. And I'm sharing this with you because I actually made a lot of these mistakes 20 years ago when I started my first online health business. I spent 3 years living on poverty line income because I was doing these 5 things, and eventually I got out of my own way to build and eventually sell a multiple 7-figure online health business that helped 500,000 people to better health. I became a number 2 New York Times bestseller, appearing on shows like Dr. Oz and Doctors, and then eventually starting Healthpreneur, which is the current company I run, helping thousands of health professionals build their dream coaching businesses that transform more lives. So, if you're watching this and you're a health professional who cares about helping more people and you want to build a great business that you love in the process, then I think you'll really enjoy this. Remember, stick around to the end of this video because I'm going to talk not only about these 5 mistakes, but then I'm going to show you exactly what to do instead. So, without any further ado, let's dive right into this. Just in case you don't know me, my name is Yuri Elkain. I'm the CEO and founder of Healthpreneur. As I mentioned, we help health professionals build scalable coaching businesses that transform more lives. Cool? Okay, so let's start off with mistake number 1 is trying to help everyone. I get it. You have expertise that can help a lot of people, but just because you can doesn't mean you should. 2 reasons why. Number 1, if you try to help everyone, especially in the context of an online coaching business, you have to proactively market your services. So how do you market your services when you're trying to help everyone? How do you have a message on the marketing front that is consistent and congruent to one specific avatar? You can't. If you're someone who deals with cancer, acne, weight loss, gut issues, how do you have cohesive messaging so people actually see you as the expert they want to work with? Think about this. If you had a leak in your house, who would you call? The general contractor or the specialist called the plumber? It's obvious, right? We all want to work with a specialist. Yet for some reason as health professionals, we feel like we have to help everyone. You weren't going to help everyone anyways. Just get over that. There's 7-point-something billion people on the planet. Yes, you're going to alienate some people. Yes, you probably would never have helped them anyways. And I do want to clarify one thing. In my experience, if you come from a background of clinical work, like having a brick and mortar, you have likely become successful in spite of yourself. What I mean by that is this. People walk down the street and they see your sign. They walk into the clinic and there's your patient or client. So people fall into your lap in an offline in-person setting. You don't have to do any marketing in many cases. You just have to have a visible location. Online, people don't even know you exist. So you have to be proactive in getting out there. Obscurity is the biggest danger you face in business. So how do you become more visible? You have to market. You have to put yourself out there. But if what you're putting out there is inconsistent in terms of the messaging, people are not quite sure who exactly you serve, they're not going to feel that you are the best solution for them. So trying to help everyone on the marketing front is near impossible. Now, the second piece to this is on the back end, is once you have clients in your business, if every client has a different issue, you cannot scale that business. Burnout is the number 1 problem health professionals face. It's the single biggest reason that people come to work with us. I want more clients and I want more revenue, but I'm burnt out and I have no time. How does that even make sense? You want more clients, i.e. more revenue, more impact, but you have no time to service them. And that's because delivery will always become the biggest bottleneck in your business in a one-on-one type of business that is focused on helping everyone. Because if someone has skin issues, gut issues, acne, recovering from cancer, how do you have a consistent delivery when everyone's a special snowflake? And if you're thinking to yourself, Yuri, that's awesome, but I want to make sure my clients get personalized attention. But listen, you can. There are ways of doing that in a more scalable, leveraged fashion. There are thousands of people, just like you, that we're working with right now, that are working with people in a very specialized fashion, in a more leveraged fashion, and their clients are getting better results than they did when they saw them one-on-one or in person. So trying to help everyone is mistake numero 1. The second mistake that will bankrupt your business is always offering the cheapest price. Okay, so you got 2 options. You can go the Motel 6 route or the Four Seasons route. What I mean by that is you can go the cheapest route or premium. I would strongly recommend staying away from the deadly middle. So look at Motel 6. They charge, $70 a night, stained sheets, cockroaches, who knows what else, I don't know. Four Seasons charges 10 times as much, $700 for a room, right? It's a room, it's got a bed, it's got a ceiling. Fundamentally the same thing. You have a room you sleep in, but the experience is very different. And so you have the choice in any moment to say, what type of business do I want to run? Do I want to run a Four Seasons type of business or a Motel 6? And this goes back to the first thing. If you want to help everyone, guess what's going to happen? Naturally, you're going to offer the lowest price because you think you should be helping everyone, which in no way, shape, or form can you ever do, especially if you have no money coming into your business. So let's look at it this way. If you want to make $20,000 per month in your business, okay, so it's $240,000, $250,000 a year. You have a couple options of doing that, okay? If you charge $100 per session, how many individual sessions do you need to have on a monthly basis with your clients? 200? 200 hours of one-on-one if you charge $100. So divide that by 4 weeks, that's 50 hours a week just in delivery. What about the rest of your business, right? Can you see how this becomes very exhausting? Now, if all you did was triple your prices, okay? So I'm not even saying change the structure of how you coach people, but let's just say you stayed one-on-one and you charge $300 instead of $100 per hour per session. Now, for the same revenue, you can work 2/3 less. So instead of having to put in 200 hours, right? 200 times 100 is 20,000. You can put in whatever 2/3 of that or 1/3 of that, right? Because now you're making 3 times as much, therefore you can work 2/3 as little. Pricing is the biggest leverage point in your business. But Yuri, I don't want to overcharge. I want to be accessible to everyone. Then congratulations, keep doing that. Number 3 is only offering one-on-one. Now we've talked about this, right? Whether it's pricing or trying to help everyone, you force yourself into a one-on-one type of business model that doesn't ultimately serve you, and more importantly, very often not your clients. Here's what I've realized. So I've been in this space now for 20 years, and we offer one-on-one primarily because we think that's the only thing we know, and we believe that's what people want. But what do people really want? Do they want one-on-one with you, or do they want an outcome? The answer is obvious. We're not that special, you and I, right? We're simply conduits to helping our clients achieve an outcome. So it's not so much, well, how much one-on-one do I get? It's, well, how do I get to where I want to go? That's the most important question. So if you've got a prospective client and they're saying, well, I want more one-on-one with you, a very simple analogy to use with them is like, well, let me give you this. Let me ask you this. If I had a magic button on your forehead that I could press and it would instantly get you to the results you're looking for, or we could spend an hour on the phone together once a week to eventually get there, which one would you prefer? Everyone's going to say the magic button. Cool. Well, unfortunately, I don't have that magical power, but what you're telling me is you're more interested in the outcome than spending time with me on the phone and specifically how we get there. So is there any reason to believe that in my 20 plus years of experience of helping people just like you get this outcome, that you don't think our vehicle or our model of helping you get there is the best for you? You see, part of what you want to be doing with prospects is helping reframe what they think they need to get where they want to go. A lot of people think they need one-on-one, but they don't know what they need to get where they want to go, because if they did, they'd likely already be there. You're the leader. You're the experts. You tell them what they need to get there. So offering one-on-one, listen, it's not scalable. You'll hit a ceiling and you can't scale it beyond that unless you're increasing your price infinitely, which is probably not possible for most people, right? It's not as beneficial for your clients, because here's the other cool thing, especially in an online health coaching business, is if you work with people one-on-one, what do they do between your sessions? They're by themselves, behind their computer, at home, all alone, in their journey, isolated. No one understands what they're going through, their spouse, their family, their friends. But what if you could create a container, a community of like-minded individuals who were all on the same path toward that outcome, who now could provide support, inspiration, motivation, community for each other? So now that independent of your inputs with those clients, they feel part of a common tribe. And collectively, they support each other to where they want to go. We know that isolation kills and community heals. Yet we think that one-on-one coaching is the best way to help people. It's not. I'm not saying there isn't a place for one-on-one. Definitely there is. and it can be used very strategically. But if that's the only thing you're offering, you are leaving a tremendous amount of money on the table. You are not ultimately providing the best service for your clients, and you don't have a sustainable or scalable business, which means you will burn out. It's only a matter of time if you're not there already. The fourth mistake that will bankrupt your business is solely relying on organic marketing. Here's what I mean by this: social and content, okay? Posting content on social, posting content on YouTube. Yeah, think about that for a second. If you only rely on this, you will not be in business for very long. So earlier I mentioned I spent 3 years with poverty line income when I started my first business in 2005. Do you know why? Because I spent all that time with no direction, no roadmap, nothing. All I did was create content. But guess what happens in the online ecosystem? No one knows you exist. No one sees your stuff. Now, obviously, there's talk about the Instagram algorithm being a little bit more favorable now because it's moving to a content graph as opposed to a social graph, which means the best content wins, not based on the number of followers you have. It's a good thing, right? But let's be honest. How much content do you put out there that's actually seen by a lot of people? Little to none. Let's just be honest. So I'm not saying content isn't important. Actually, between you and I, it is the most important thing for the longevity of your brand. But if you actually want to make money and attract clients now, it's never going to help you. Now, it took me 7 years to make my first $1 million in my first online health business. 7 years. What was I doing? I was creating content. I was shooting videos for YouTube. And listen, I built that sucker to a very high level. We had 300,000 subscribers on YouTube. Our blog was getting 1.4 million visits per month. Okay. But it took me 7 years and eventually a lot of people and payroll dollars to make that happen. You see, content is not free. It's either using your time or you're having to hire people to help you. So even though we think it's free, it's not. And here's the thing is that successful people understand that time is expensive and money is cheap. So it took me 7 years to make my first million. When I started Healthpreneur, it took me 7 weeks. What was the difference? I didn't do any content creation for Healthpreneur for the first 3 years. All I focused on was our perfect client pipeline and paid acquisition. If you don't know what that looks like, or if you don't know what I'm talking about, stick around to the end and I'll include a video for you to check out next where I walk you through exactly how it all works. But here's the thing though, like now you might be saying, well, Yuri, I'm watching this video on YouTube or I'm listening to this as a podcast. Yeah. After the first 3 years of this business, we started to create more opportunity, more resources. We had a bigger team. And at that point we said, okay, where do we want to go with this sucker? This business, this brand will be around for longer than my life. We will turn this into a $1 billion brand that helps 1 billion people on this planet. If that's the vision, yeah, we got to play a bigger game. So yeah, we spend a tremendous amount of money on ads every single month. And our goal in the future is that our content supersedes what we're able to do with paid traffic. However, if you're starting out, or even like honestly, anywhere under, I'd say $500,000 to $1 million in revenue, if you're only focused on content, you have to understand the opportunity cost is time. You will put in a lot of effort for slow growth. And if you're okay with that, that's cool. But don't expect anything to happen for the first 2, 3, even 5 years. I'm serious about this. But if you want to go from 0 to 6 or 7 figures, you can do that in a space of 6 to 18 months by focusing on understanding how to use paid traffic. And I share this because this is what we help our clients do. This is what we've done. And again, I'm not saying organic marketing isn't important. It is the most important piece of the whole ecosystem of your brand. If your brand makes it, right? But if you want to actually stay in business, you have to generate revenue. You have to help clients. You have to have a profitable business. And it's simply not going to happen if you're posting stuff on Instagram or TikTok and hoping somehow people are going to see it. So yes, in the long term, I think it's great. Amazing, for sure. But you got to build a foundation that's more predictable. You have a machine under the system, like a machine as the system of your business that's predictably bringing people in. Now, with that said, I will be honest, we do have a lower end coaching program or an entry level coaching program where if you don't have a lot of experience working with clients and you don't have the luxury of running paid ads and having strangers jump on the phone with you, and you lack the confidence to charge $2,000, $3,000, or $4,000, $5,000 to complete strangers, because most likely they're going to say no. If you don't have conviction in what you do, then yes, you have to earn your stripes. And yes, you have to make up in time what you lack in expertise. So the number one factor that I look for, like whether it makes sense for you to run paid traffic versus starting with organic, is if I were to send you leads who had no clue who you were and they needed to rely on your conviction and experience for them to feel confident in working with you, if you don't have that, you should not be running paid ads, because you will lose your shirt very quickly. You can spend hundreds of dollars a day, tens of thousands a month, and everyone will say no because they don't believe you can help them. But if someone gets on the phone with me, I don't give a shit where they live in the world. If they are a good fit for working with me and what we do, they're enrolling. Because I have so much conviction, because I've been doing this for 20 years. I don't believe there's a single person on the planet who is better at helping health professionals build their businesses online than me. Is that empirically true? Maybe, maybe not. But my conviction is unwavering. If you don't have that for what it is you do, you should not be running paid ads. And that's where, in that case, you probably want to start with organic. But again, understanding how to do so in a smart way that doesn't take forever, and understanding how to become more visible, there are very specific ways you can do that. And that's something that we help our clients in our entry-level coaching program. Again, if that's you can click the link below, kind of dig around and you can find it. Anyways, so that's my thing about organic. So if you have no experience, start there. And then as you build up your experience, you move into paid traffic. And then as you build that system, you have it running for you. And then I would recommend, if you want to build a big brand over time, is you come back to organic as an adjunct to that for building your brand. If you're coming into this world, into this online world, and you're amazing at what you do, and you have the experience and you have that track record, then go right to paid traffic. Build your business to 6-7 figures in 12 to 18 months, no problem. And then you can build the ecosystem with content and organic in the future. That's what we did. Cool? Fifth mistake that will bankrupt your business is trying to figure this out on your own. Let me ask you this. Did you become the health expert you are learning this for free on YouTube or reading some books? I certainly hope not, because I definitely would not be working with you if that were the case. You probably went to school for several years. You probably invested tens, maybe even hundreds of thousands of dollars. So you've done all the groundwork. You've built the expertise. Why on earth do you think you can do that for free with your business? And here's the other thing is, like, if you don't invest in yourself in terms of coaching and mentorship to build your business, why on earth would you expect other people to invest in you? You see, you got to become the client you want to attract. If you want clients who are committed, if you want clients who are willing to put their money where their mouth is, if you want clients who are willing to pay you premium dollars, guess who should lead the way? Yeah, you should. I've invested more than $1.3 million in my coaching and developments. And I continue to do so every month. I pay more than 5 figures every month in masterminds and coaching and mentorship. Why would I do that? Because I don't have all the answers. And I don't have a lot of people in my ecosystem that understand what I do or at the level that I'm at. So by me being part of other coaching programs and masterminds, I am naturally put into these different environments where people are ahead of me, where I can learn, where we can share, where I feel like I've, found my tribe. And I would be a hypocrite if I were to say you should get a coach and I didn't have one myself. And I've had multiple coaches over the years because, every person's got different skills and different aspects of what they do that can help in various aspects of my business. So trying to figure this out on your own is, it's going to take you forever. That was my biggest mistake. My first 3 years online, I thought, hey, I'm smart. I can do this by myself. And I didn't quite get there. I made $6,000 my first year online, $18,000 in my second year, and not much more in my third. In 2010, I hired my first coach. I went to 3 different live events so I could actually be in front of other people. And all of that, I put on a credit card that I didn't have money to pay. But I knew that I needed to make that investment because I didn't know what I didn't know. And obviously what I was doing wasn't working. I needed someone who had been there and done that to show me the way. Just like when I went to university, I paid money and I learned from the best. And the same thing happens in business. So if you want to build a great business, you have to be willing to invest in your business acumen, right? The letters behind your name don't entitle you to a successful business. They simply give you the tokens to start playing the game. But now you got to earn your stripes every single day. Like what I did in the past is irrelevant. No one cares that I built a 7-figure business that helped 500,000 people, that I graduated summa cum laude from one of the top universities in the world, that I was on Dr. Oz, that I was a New York Times best-selling author. Who cares? I can't sit on my laurels and expect people to fall into my lap because of that. No, every single day I'm earning my keep. Every single day I'm adding value to our marketplace because I understand that what happened yesterday, good foundation, but it doesn't entitle me to anything. And you're in the same position where every single day you need to up level. You need to skill up. You have to become better at business because it doesn't matter how good you are if no one knows who you are. And we all know a lot of really smart health professionals, but no one knows who they are. And I hope you're not one of them. And if you are, listen, you're in the right place. You're watching videos like this. Now, I've talked about the 5 mistakes to avoid. So you might be asking, well, what do I do instead, Yuri? Well, the good news is I've got you covered. So here's what I'd like you to do. Watch the next video. I'm going to walk you through the exact business model we help our clients install into their businesses. So if you want a step-by-step roadmap for exactly how to get clients, grow your business online, how to help more people without relying on one-on-one, and avoiding all the mistakes I just talked about, watch the next video right here, and I'll see you there. 95% of all coaches online eventually fail in business, and I don't want that to be your future. So watch this video because I'm going to show you what every beginner coach and more advanced entrepreneur needs to know to actually win in business.